You know that feeling, right? You walk into the gym and you have to make a choice. Is it a treadmill day or is it a weight rack day? It's a debate that splits the entire fitness world into two big camps. You're either team cardio or you're team iron. But what if I told you that by even asking the question, you're starting from the wrong place? Man, when I first got serious about working out, I was so lost. You've got one expert screaming that you have to run every single day for your heart, and then another one insisting that lifting heavy is the only way you're ever going to see real change. It's this classic tug-of-war, and honestly, it's enough to make you just want to turn around and go home. Look, let's be super clear. Doing just cardio is great, and doing just strength training, also great. Both are packed with benefits. But the science we have now is overwhelming on this. When you combine them, it's like a superpower. You unlock this whole other level of fitness. So if you pick just one, you're literally leaving half of your potential gains on the table. The real magic isn't in choosing, it's in the combination. To really get why this combo is so powerful, we need to understand what each one is actually doing. The best way to think about it is to imagine your body as a high-performance car. You've got this massive, powerful engine, those are your muscles. And then you've got the fuel lines and the cooling system, that's your heart, your lungs, your whole cardiovascular system. To really perform, you can't just have one or the other, you need both tuned up and running perfectly. So let's break that down a little. Aerobic exercise, which is just a fancy word for cardio, means with oxygen. Your body is being trained to get really good at using oxygen for fuel over a long period of time. Think of a long run. Strength training, on the other hand, is mostly anaerobic or without oxygen. It's all about short, intense bursts of power. You're not really training your lungs in that moment. You're challenging your muscles and bones to handle a heavy load. So you see, they're two totally different types of training, but both are absolutely vital. So why is building up that engine, our muscles, so incredibly important, especially as we get older? Well, it comes down to a word you need to know: sarcopenia. I'll never forget watching my grandfather, who was always the strong guy, really struggle to just lift a bag of groceries. That's sarcopenia in action. It's this gradual, sneaky loss of muscle that robs you of your independence. It's not about looking good. It's about being able to get out of a chair, climb stairs, or play with your grandkids without a second thought. Okay, so we've got it. Cardio is amazing for our heart. Strength is essential for our muscles. But what actually happens when you put them together in the same week? Well, that's where you get synergy. It's that 1 + 1 = 3 effect, where the total benefit is way bigger than you'd expect. You're not just building a fit body, you're building a resilient one. And hey, this is not just my opinion. This quote right here is from a major study in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. We're talking about top researchers in aging and human physiology, and their conclusion couldn't be clearer. To fight back against sarcopenia, programs should, not could, but should be based on both. They're not competing options. They're two essential parts of the exact same solution. So let's make that synergy feel real. Think about it. When you build a stronger back and core from lifting weights, your running form gets better, you get more efficient, and you're less likely to get injured. And then it works the other way too. A healthier heart from all that running means you recover way faster between your heavy sets in the weight room. That lets you lift more, which helps you get stronger. You see? Each one literally feeds the success of the other. And this brings us to one of the most critical relationships in your entire body, the link between your muscles and your bones. It is the ultimate use it or lose it scenario. When your muscles pull on your bones during a heavy lift, it sends a powerful signal to your skeleton to stay strong and dense. But if you become inactive, your bones can weaken, which can make activity painful or risky, which then causes your muscles to get even weaker. It's a truly vicious cycle. But the great news is that a good training program can stop it in its tracks. All right, so you're convinced. We need both. I get it. But the next logical question is, how much of each? And the answer is, well, it depends on you. There is no single perfect formula for everyone. It all comes down to what your specific goals are right now. So let's look at how to build the right balance for you. If you take a look at this table, you can see how your focus should shift based on your goal. If fat loss is number 1 on your list, you actually want a strength bias. Why? Because you need to hold on to that calorie-burning muscle as you lose weight. If you're training for a half marathon, well, you're going to have an aerobic bias to get that heart as efficient as possible. And for most of us who are just trying to be healthy and live a long, active life, a 50-50 split is pretty much the gold standard. Now, I really want to zoom in on bone health because this chart is so important. To actually signal your body to build new bone, you have to lift heavy. That means challenging yourself with what's called high-intensity training. Now, I know a term like 1 rep max can sound super intimidating, but all it means is the most weight you can lift one time with good form. The research shows that lifting weights above 70% of that number is what really tells your bones to get stronger.
It's a unique signal that, frankly, a brisk walk or a swim just can't replicate. So how do you actually put this all together? It's simpler than you think. A great place to start is aiming for 2 or 3 days of resistance training each week and getting in about 150 minutes of moderate cardio. And here's a little pro tip. If you can, try to separate those sessions. Don't do them back to back. Give your body time to adapt to each specific type of workout. But listen, at the end of the day, this is just a template. The best routine is the one you'll actually stick with.
So, let's bring it all home. We've busted this myth of cardio versus strength. We've figured out how to balance them based on our own unique goals. But this whole conversation isn't really about looking good for the summer. It's about playing the long game. It's about building a body that's not just fit, but truly capable and resilient for the rest of your life.
If you need a little fire lit under you, remember this number, 8%. That's how much muscle mass you can lose every single decade after you turn 30 if you're not actively fighting it. And I gotta be honest, I'm starting to feel it. I can't lift what I did in my 20s, but instead of getting down about it, it just makes me want to train smarter because I want to be hiking and traveling and playing with my kids for decades to come. When it's all said and done, the body you have is the only one you're ever gonna get. It's your single most valuable possession and it's on you to maintain it. So the debate is over. It's not cardio or strength, it's cardio and strength. So stop training for a season, start training for your life. Build a machine that's capable, strong, and ready for whatever comes your way.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. I want you to take a really honest look at what you're doing for fitness right now. Is it just building a body for today, or are you investing in a resilient body for a lifetime? Drop your goals in the comments below. I'd love to see them. And if this helped you out, please share it with a friend who's stuck in that cardio versus weights debate. Thanks for watching.